On this episode of DC On Screen, the Warner Brothers Discovery CEO says the strategy is to drive the hell out of DC. Rumor mill churnings about Henry Cavill's half-baked Superman deal. An important update about Jason Momoa's dream project. The character that most fans want to see in live action, according to James Gunn. Plus, teases about the new Gunn Safran 10-year plan. And Sandman Season 2, as well as trailers for Doom Patrol Season 4. And Legion of Superheroes. All that and so much more right after these words from the sponsors of Mystery. Welcome into DC On Screen, bringing you news and reviews for the DC Multiverse on film and television since 2015. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and this, the man who was once arrested for evading authorities by climbing a tree while holding a meth pipe, Jason Goss.
How do you get arrested for evading? I evaded.
Whatever, man. Zachy has come down from that tree, man.
I would have been fine. It was a weak branch, man. You make one mistake.
Pronunciation of branch.
Meth-related mistake.
Oh, yeah.
And suddenly you're that guy.
You are.
It was funny, though. I fell like 14 feet, but it was like that meth strength, man. I jumped up like a fucking rubber band. I was good. Kept running.
Yeah. What's the Chappelle bit where the crackhead jumps out of the tree and gets hit by the cop car and they sprinkle some crack on him and he jumped back up?
It's probably Tyrone. Well, that sounds about right.
I mean, that was from a special.
Oh, was it?
Stand up, yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, it was kind of calling back to the fact that, you know, every time they kill somebody, some poor black person, they sprinkle crack on them so that there's no mysteries.
Right. Yeah.
But they sprinkled the crack on the crackhead and he got back up again.
It was like putting salt on a drowned fly. He just flew off.
All right, before we get into the episode, I do quickly want to thank the patrons, fine folks like Giuseppe Vicaretti and Ryan Hulsman and several others. To all who keep this show afloat with your support, we are very grateful. Mm-hmm. And if you'd like to join their hallowed ranks, it is only $1 a month to get every episode ad-free and $5 a month to get that, plus any exclusive content we might be putting out, such as Endless Conversation, the new series from myself and DC Squadcast's own Scott McClellan, as we discuss Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, volume by volume. The first episode, Preludes and Nocturnes, will be available very soon, if it's not up already by the time you're hearing this, and it's available only to $5 patrons. Patreon.com/DCOnScreen to join us over there.
That's going to take you guys so long.
I mean, it's like, yeah, mate, yeah, well. It wouldn't if like we could like read one a week and review it, but we're just, you know, he's got 3 kids and I've got like 5 side projects. So,
well, and
we busy.
Yeah, and the omnibuses for that just can be measured in feet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're just talking about the volumes, man. We're just talking about the volumes.
Yeah, that's all. Just one at a time.
It's like 12 of them.
Yeah.
It's like 12 of them, man.
Yeah, that's it.
So, let's do a little catch up here on the news.
Mm-hmm.
David Zaslav, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO, told RBC that they were going to drive the hell out of DC. He says that Gunn and Safran are coming close to the end of finishing a Bible for DC.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I think over the next few years, you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There's not going to be 4 Batmans. And so part of our strategy is drive the hell out of DC, which James and Peter are going to do. I think they've thrilled the fans. I think they're going to thrill you over a period of time. Now, there's been a lot of hubbub about how there won't be 4 Batmans comment means DC won't be entertaining the notion of a multiverse. And I personally think it's interesting that he said 4 Batmans, because if we're to believe Jason Momoa, and he might be wrong, they might change things yet, but there will be, as far as I could tell, exactly 3 Batmans in universe. It's like a little Monty Python.
I mean,
neither shall there be 4 Batmans. 3. 3 is the number.
I was trying to count mentally, like, what am I missing? It's got to be Pattinson, Affleck, Keaton right now.
Yeah, that's 3.
But that's it, though, right? Like, I'm not missing anybody.
Yeah, so it's like,
well,
is he saying, well, there will be 3, but there won't be 4 Batmans?
Neither 4.
Yeah,
no,
of course
less than 3.
We know he's already come out and said again to a separate group that it's been 13 years since the last Superman. So, I mean, apparently this dude just doesn't know numbers. It's not been 13 years. Stop saying
I keep thinking that he mixed up 13 years in 2013 as the release date of Man of Steel. But
he got the Harry Potter number wrong, too.
What'd he do on Harry Potter?
I can't remember. I think he said it's been like 16 years since the last Harry Potter. And like, are you counting Fantastic Beasts? What are we doing here? Like, and it hasn't been 16 years since the last Harry Potter. It's been like 11 or something. I can't remember. I can't remember the actual number.
Honestly, for how much Harry Potter stuff came out for a long time, I would have been like, it's been 4 months.
Yeah.
My knee-jerk reaction for a minute is just like, oh, it was there yesterday. Shut up.
Yeah. And as for the drive the hell out of DC line, I think that is freaking precisely what they should be doing with DC. Like, I've seen so many people complain like, oh no, this is like, they're going to just like run it to the ground. No, this is what Disney does with Marvel, what they do with Star Wars. I am continuously inundated with Marvel and Star Wars. They're always reminding me through new content and advertising and advertising of new content that those properties are there and they are going to keep coming.
About coming advertisements about the content.
Constant advertisement is overwhelming, but it's also something we haven't seen much from with Warner Brothers on the DC front. At least not like DC. I mean, not like Disney does it. So I think they should drive the hell out of it. And like Marvel Studios, they should finally stick to a plan. They've got to stop letting naysayers and critics and poor box office rattle them so severely that they put on the brakes and retool everything. You got to learn from your mistakes, but you got to stop being so scared of all the negative comments and lower than, hoped for box office. If Disney did that,
this is a product, right?
Yeah, but if Disney did that, they would never have made a movie after The Incredible Hulk or Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3 or Ant-Man or Last Jedi or Solo or Eternals. I mean, change your course
for
slightly.
Everything you just mentioned, there's somebody going, and they shouldn't have. Okay, well, a lot of people disagree with you. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean.
But that's what I'm saying. This is a product. You sell products. That's what you do with products. That's why they're products.
I'm just saying they shouldn't completely stop and change the plan every time anyone says something bad about their stupid movie.
No, seriously, since Watchmen, that has been the problem that WB's been facing. That they'd keep thinking and that was part of it. Was Watchmen was such an adept adaptation for a lot of reasons that it was too close, but it wasn't close enough. Well, they tried to adapt to that, and I mean, God, we saw what the last few years were. I mean, hell, I wonder how much of the 24 Green Lantern 2011 rewrites just had to do with them not knowing what the fuck they were going to actually put their foot in. For a long time, they haven't known when to put their heels in the ground and just try something and just go with it and stick with it. I mean, that's been the problem for a long time, the reactionary bullshit.
Yeah.
That reactionary bullshit is the same reason the Snyderverse ever got derailed, give or take your feelings about it. But that is exactly the reason it got derailed is reactionary crap. So
yep.
It'd be nice to try something new for a change. Really try something and just see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Learn from your mistakes and just kind of keep moving on. There was nothing that Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds wasn't great, but it also wasn't so bad that you should just start over.
And it wasn't great compared to even the original fucking script.
No, the original script was way better.
Yeah. There was too much tweaking.
Director's cut fixed a bunch of the editing issues. Just move on.
Real editing issues.
Just keep making, dude, I don't think anybody would have had a problem with Ryan Reynolds coming back as Green Lantern and just continuing that story. Just go ahead and do your Flash movie. Go ahead and do Batman. Go ahead. Whatever, man.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of your feelings of the story itself or the movie, the meat of the story is just a Hal Jordan origin story. All you have is just he's Green Lantern now and move on. And you could just roll with that. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
You've already seen Oa. You've seen the rest of them. Like, yeah.
I'm going to have a rant about this one.
Oh, okay. I'll prepare.
I'm sorry. So according to quote unquote numerous insiders with knowledge of the situation.
That is never a good start.
I know. This is totally like a hacky. This is from Humberto Gonzalez on the Wrap.
That is a worse start.
Yeah, that is. But so many people are talking about it.
There are worse starts. This is a bad.
one. A long time ago, we decided we're not gonna keep talking about these scoops. We're just going to ignore it. And if it didn't happen,
but this one's so bad, you're gonna stop.
This one's so bad, and I saw so many people reacting to it. I have to talk about it for a second. So Humberto Gonzalez.
I have a guess which particular thing it is.
Man. Humberto Gonzalez put out this article with the Wrap, or
this muckraking tripe.
According to numerous insiders with knowledge of the situation, although it has previously been reported that the search for a writer was currently underway, the fact is there's currently no writer or director attached to the project, Superman, and there's currently no formal deal with Henry Cavill to return. Additionally, according to an insider, as it currently stands at the moment, there's no forward momentum on the project, while newly installed DC bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran have been busy fine-tuning their long-range plan for the DCU. So, I don't know if you noticed, Jason, but this article doesn't actually say anything supporting the clickbait implication that something is wrong. It says, although it has been previously reported that the search for a writer was currently underway, the fact is there's currently no writer or director attached. This implies a contradiction. But if the search for the writer was currently underway, wouldn't that mean there wasn't a writer attached?
It follows. It very much follows. Yeah.
But an insider says there's no forward momentum on the project.
But the search was underway.
But the search was underway. And as it said in the article, Gunn and Safran have been busy fine-tuning their long-range plan for the DCU.
But that's not momentum. It's a very confusing concept of this article. I'm trying to figure out what constitutes momentum.
Yeah.
or do they know what verbs are and how they're used?
So I think we can wrap this one up by saying, as we've said for many years now, please take anything Humberto Gonzalez says with the biggest damn grain of salt.
A lethal dose of salt.
He is not even trying to hide his intentions here. And for days, all I saw were people screaming that the sky was falling over this article.
That was a hubbub. It's stupid too. I mean, dude, high-end jobs like that, like you don't. You think they settled this over a phone call between two hotel rooms? Like, no, they're going to take a few weeks at least. Time. It takes time to settle a contract like this.
They settled it slowly over a hand job at a Happy Endings massage parlor.
Yeah. And
Henry Cavill went, oh, I'm arriving.
I mean, this is not like you showed up looking for a job and they said $18.50 an hour. Sold. I'll be there tomorrow. Like, this is not that simple, man.
Yeah.
They've got to work on all kinds of crap.
And now I've got it in my head that it's like, have you seen those like Instagram reels or TikToks or whatever they are, where it's like welding students and the guy comes up to them, the instructor comes up to him and says, how much do you think you're worth an hour? I don't know, 20, 25? How about 38.50 an hour? I'll take it.
I haven't seen that one. Fits my industry though.
Yeah, it would work. So likewise, I saw lots of anger over this reveal, and it's not a reveal, as I'll get into. Variety was talking to Amy Adams, I believe for
Disenchanted.
Well, Disenchanted, yes. I couldn't remember the name for just a second. Which, by all accounts, is not as good as the first one. Don't know if you knew that, but
I don't know either.
Well, I've heard a lot of kerfuffle about how it's not as good. And then I spoke with both Scott McClellan and my wife, and they were both like, yeah, it's not as good. It's all right though. But
the sophomore slump before Re-Enchanted comes out in 2027.
And they pretend that Amy Adams is the same age.
She probably will look close.
Again. Not this time she didn't.
Really?
But yeah, watch them back to back, man.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unfair to anybody, though.
It is unfair to anybody. Why would you do that? Why would you do that with a timeline?
I don't know. Kind of a dick move.
Make it 18 years later, whatever it was.
What is Spike's real name? Marsters or something?
James Marsters, I think.
Didn't he say in an interview one time they were talking about like a Buffy reboot of some kind? He was like, "Aren't vampires supposed to not age?"
Yeah.
It's been 25 years, mate.
Yeah. Well, all you got to do is say, "Yeah, you got a soul now." That changes things.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We'll canon that.
But see, that like the headlines that I kept seeing were basically Amy Adams reveals or breaks silence if she'll return to DC after Cavill's comeback. So Adams was talking to Variety. Silence? Yeah. She was talking to Variety. She says, "I'm thrilled for him. He's such a wonderful Superman, so I'm very excited for him." She says, "They haven't spoken to me about it. If it's me, great. But if it's somebody else, the role of Lois has been filled by so many wonderful actresses in the past, so I'll support whatever direction they go." And just, y'all.
So she, quote, breaks silence by saying, "If they call, I'm in."
Yeah. If they don't even have a writer, if they don't have a writer for the Superman film, because they're busy fleshing out their universe real quick over the next month or whatever.
The Bible, as you mentioned in the lead up.
Yeah. They haven't, they're not going to have reached out to Amy Adams. They aren't replacing her yet. This isn't confirmation that they're going forward without Amy Adams. They just haven't gotten up with her because there's nothing to get up with her about. It's so frustrating. Like, people start, hashtagging restore Snyderverse, save Amy Adams and shit. And you're like, dude, nothing has even been said.
Yeah, it ain't that deep yet. God. I mean, this is very much getting worried about the chopped pecans not being used. I'm still mixing the batter for this red velvet, bro. Mm-hmm. You got to give me a second. Mm-hmm. Those pecans will come in time.
Or, as Henry Cavill, they will arrive. Mm-hmm. So
the pecans will follow me in the sun.
Jason Momoa. Remember those
for a second you said Jason, I thought you were about to be very like, "Jason, stop that right now."
No, but I was.
I thought that was gonna be Jason, not Jason Momoa.
Now I've got an image of pecans stumbling and falling before they join you.
How do you think they become crushed pecans?
One of those big chopper thingies.
They just clumsy.
So remember we talked about Jason Momoa saying, "Oh, one of the best things ever in my life just happened." Yeah. Maestro. And then a couple days later,
what even for him were irregular amounts of dopamine.
Yeah. And people are like, "Oh my God, it's Maestro Zack Snyder."
Yeah.
And then Momoa, in an interview with ET Canada, said he was excited about Gunn and Safran, and one of his dreams come true will be happening under their watch. So he was talking to Sean O'Connell on Cinema Blend, and Sean actually asked Momoa if the Maestro was Zack Snyder, and if the dream project is reteaming with Zack Snyder. And Momoa says those two have no relation. It was 2 days of amazing news. That one is like beyond. That one trumps the DC one. So the project that Jason Momoa teased on November 6th is not a DC project. But there is a dream project with DC that was revealed on November 8th. And that's a separate thing.
Okay. So hence the dopamine overdose.
And he says Zack Snyder is not the Maestro. He says you have to dig deeper. It's the Holy Grail, and it's different than the DC thing. I really can't say anything. That's it.
Okay. So let me make sure I've understood this correctly. Non-DC, completely unrelated to the fact that he's Aquaman. He released a video saying he's going to get to do one of the things he's always wanted to do in his entire life, right?
Yeah.
Separately, having been questioned about it, he said that under Gunn and Safran, he will also be getting to do one of the things he's wanted to do the most in the DC universe. but it's unrelated to anything previous.
Uh-huh.
So he's just having a really good day.
Yeah.
Cool.
Really good couple of days.
Yeah. Well, good for him, though.
Which is
I'm just trying to recapitulate just to make sure we all understand.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not exclusive. He apparently just had, like you said, a couple of really good days.
Yeah. Which over on our Instagram, people have been commenting and are really excited about the idea of him playing Lobo.
No, I would be too. Not that I didn't love the TV version we already had, but still.
Yeah. It was like a bunch of people like, Lobo, please, dear God, Lobo. And like one guy going, he can't be Aquaman and Lobo.
I'm not gonna tell you it wouldn't distort me a little bit. I do need that framed somehow, but I'll live.
Yeah, but it just reminded me of you remember the cartoon where Daffy Duck is fighting Elmer Fudd in a ring, and in like a boxing ring, and there's like a whole bunch of ducks that are doing it, and all the stadium is full of ducks, and one dog that belongs to Elmer Fudd. And when they all cheer for Daffy, they're all like, yay! And then like the one dog goes, boo!
That dog was ride or die, man. Now, I can imagine it a little bit like even if they just said, screw it, we're doing this. What would you have? Like an Aquaman Lobo fight where it's just like painted white Momoa and then regular Momoa? Momoa with a trident. Momoa with a chain.
Here's the honest truth, okay?
Think of it like Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting or something, right? Just changing colors, that's all.
Right. I suspect that if they do Lobo, he will look markedly different than Momoa does as Aquaman, even if he is Momoa.
Which will be weird because Momoa already looks so much like Lobo.
He does.
You really just got to paint the dude and send him on his way.
You do, but then people will be like, he's not big enough.
Nah,
because Lobo is a really big guy. But the other thing, though, is like, I've seen Crisis on Infinite Earths. I saw freaking Brandon Routh play Ray Palmer right next to Brandon Routh's Superman.
Mm-hmm. That was a good time.
I don't give a damn.
No, I'm good. I would genuinely be good with it. But, I'll tell you this, though. Take it a step further. So when he said it's one of the biggest things, blah, 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 one of the things that you and I were talking about was like, I don't know what he might mean if it's a DC and it's the biggest thing he's ever wanted, because like he's already got another Aquaman movie. He has an Aquaman franchise as long as that one makes anything close to the original amount of money. Like, he has his own thing, regardless of anything else that's going on. That's already kind of a dream come true. And then he got the Justice League, like the Snyder cut already. So, the biggest thing he's ever wanted, the dream come true, can't be like Justice League Part 2. That didn't make any sense. No.
But when they asked him, he said, there's one character that's my favorite character that I own every comic book to.
And that may still be the case with Lobo for sure.
In other interviews, he said, like, when Zack Snyder called him in, he said, what character would you want to play? And he said, Lobo.
And I'm honestly sure Snyder looked at him and went, that would make sense. I have some other ideas, but that would make sense.
Snyder apparently just said, nope, you're Aquaman.
And Mo was like, damn it, man, I'm in. No, but like as he's phrased it now, like look at the 2 days. One, oh my God, so exciting. Not DC. The other one, under Peter and Safran, I'll get to do something I really want to do. That really could be something like Justice League 2.
Could be.
Like that makes more sense for that narrative than, the Instagram video or whatever platform that was released on.
I don't know what makes sense anymore.
Nothing does. But, that's what we're here to do is try.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he's playing Lobo. That's what I think. Because in that one interview when the guy was like, I think it was Brandon Davis on comicbook.com, but he was like, oh yeah, Gunn posted a picture of Lobo, and Momoa would like get stiff, and he's like, really? Let me see. Like, I think he knows some shit, and because he seemed genuinely surprised that Gunn posted a picture of Lobo. Like, oh, he said that? Oh shit. All right, so
the situations where it's like Plinko, but all of the numbers at the bottom are whatever the high score is. I don't care how this shakes out. They all sound fantastic.
I'm interested to see what happens.
Almost all of this speculation sounds fine. Like I'm in.
I just hope that all these upcoming DC movies don't. I just hope they're not like Black Adam.
In what sense?
I didn't think that was very good.
Oh.
It was okay. It was just like, it was very clearly like messed with, you know?
I don't know. It didn't feel that. I don't know. That's a big fancy term. We should revisit at some point as far as what you mean by it. And
I think the studio just kept messing with it. I talked about it in the review. It felt like it was edited kind of poorly.
Definitely moments I can get with you on that, but otherwise, like the tone where it now stands in the universe, the characters, where it expanded some of the history of DC, like those are all fantastic.
It expanded it exactly 0% from what they did in the trailer. Like, they could have released a trailer and said, hey, these guys are in the DC universe now. And I'd be like, cool.
Yeah, but if I'd released the trailer and said, fuck off, we're going to can this, like, you'd be beside yourself.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be.
Or what if I just hadn't shown you a trailer and said, no, we're just going to release it. You need to watch it.
That would have been better, honestly, for me. But, I mean, I understand they've got to try to get people into the theater, into the seats and shit.
See, I do understand that. But at the same time, I do wish there was like an opt-out button where I could just be like, I don't need to see anything. I'm going to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Just
if you wanted that, you could have done that, but not start a podcast with me about it.
I'm aware. But they're, and different trailers are, different relations, but still.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for as much as Black Adam the movie forwarded those characters, it was about as much as we got in the trailer. Like, they didn't give them any time to breathe. Anyway, I've talked about this before, but I need a little more. I needed more of some things and less of other things. Less of a little kid narrating, for instance.
Well,
less skateboarding through the streets with the Smashing Pumpkins playing.
I can always
love the Smashing Pumpkins. I love the Smashing Pumpkins, but I didn't need a full song's worth of a kid skateboarding through the streets of Kandak.
Yeah, I count on you to love them for both of us.
I do.
Much as I love STP enough for both of us.
You do. I like him okay from time to time. All right, so James Gunn over on Mastodon. We know James Gunn. I don't think I have to explain it to the audience here.
Who that is? No, I think we got that under control.
He wanted to know which characters that have yet to be seen in live action do fans want to see. Want to know who came out on top?
I could guess. Go.
Gunn says, interestingly, Booster Gold was the most requested character when I asked people on Mastodon what character they'd love to see most on screen. I'm not creating stories by public vote, but I found it fascinating nevertheless. I'm
not hating on that choice.
No. And then Dan Jurgens, who created Booster Gold, quote tweeted the comment and said, understandable, though it should be noted that they clearly represent the best, brightest, and most enlightened that society has to offer.
I know we can't take it too seriously, but these are clearly some wise men. We should just just trust them.
Yeah. Gunn dropped a picture of Mr. Terrific on Instagram, and look, he shared this picture of Mr. Terrific, and then not long after, he posted that. Comic book artist Mitch Gerrits replied with a shot of the character from Strange Adventures, and that was a series that Mitch and Doc Shaner drew for Tom King.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully.
And Gerrits said, what a strange adventure this could be. Now, earlier this year, Gunn posted a photo of the Strange Adventures Collected Edition, saying it was a masterpiece and said that it was the best, most complex, and yet elegant superhero story I've read in years.
It was really good.
And that series featured or centered around Adam Strange, who is a celebrity superhero, and he was going on tour for his autobiography, haunted by his past.
Possibly a war criminal. And Mr. Terrific was the second lead in the series. So it sounds like Gunn might be looking to adapt that to some degree. I could dig it. Even in that story, like Terrific is in that story, Batman pretty much asks Terrific to do the investigation because he feels he'd be more qualified in this case. There's a little bit of back and forth about like, yeah, we're both like the second or fourth somewhere in that area, smartest people on earth. But I'm going to be a bit biased. If you could do this investigation, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And he definitely does. He does not hold back as far as his investigation goes. It was a lot of fun. That series was great. Get the TPB. Anybody who wants a good time.
Well, that just sounds like a trade paperback found in a bathroom stall.
I was thinking bathroom stall. Yeah,
for a good time call.
For a good time, and then there's an ISBN number.
But yeah, dude. So yeah, Strange Adventures, Adam Strange, all of that sounds right up James Gunn's alley. Honestly,
very much could be. Yeah,
that sounds like something he would love to do.
I mean, going back on the King and Garrett's canon, like he'd have a great time with Mr. Miracle. Which is also fucking phenomenal.
It was. God, Mr. Miracle's so good. Yeah. So James Gunn, someone asked Gunn on Twitter, said the Wrap just reported you and Safran are planning to reveal the new DC plans in the next 2 months. Is that true? And I think this was like November. So Gunn, like late November. Gunn says, yes, that is true. Parentheses, revealing it to the WBD team. So not publicly. This isn't necessarily news.
Finally inviting them into the office with a giant whiteboard, not telling any of us about it.
Right. This isn't exactly news, but I always love it, so I always have to bring it up. Gunn was showing behind the scenes photos from the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and someone commented, "You are of DC, no Marvel." And Gunn replied, as was made clear in all press, until May, I am both DC and Marvel. I have dedicated the majority of the past 10 years of my life to the Guardians trilogy, and am not abandoning them or the thousands of people who worked on them at the 11th hour. The world won't end if you love both.
That was more than that comment deserved.
Right?
Far more.
But wonderful.
Well put, but way more.
I spent probably 45 minutes last night looking at Marvel Legends figures with my wife on Amazon.
And by the way, have you seen the holiday special?
Not yet.
Fucking delightful. I'll just say that.
I'm sure it is. I've watched the teaser for volume 3 and it looks dark AF.
Oh yeah. No, I am gonna cry watching that. I've cried watching the other two Guardians of the Galaxy though, so
yeah, me too.
I expect no less.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, volume 2, like, all the people who are like, it's too jokey and kidsy, and there's nothing that can be taken seriously.
Fuck you. I may not be your father, but I was your daddy.
I openly wept.
I'm sure I didn't get that exactly right, but it's close enough. If that line doesn't make you cry, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
Yep. Yeah. I absolutely agree. He didn't even need a line, though. Like, the funeral, the fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I don't know how to help. If you have that big of a problem, I don't know how to help.
Even small things like the look on Rooker's face when, and I'm speaking actor here, like when he's watching all of his, crew just get scuttled out the back into space. That dead look in his eyes, just I don't know what I could possibly have asked from an actor more than that. That was incredible. Like it was jarring. Like in one of those good ways where like you ever get taken out of a movie just because you're like so happy with the actor that you're like, shit, I'm going to suspension of disbelief. I have to take a moment to recognize how good this is. And we'll go back to you in a second.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I do that all the time. Like I feel like I live in that zone where I'm just like watching what the actors are doing and not paying attention to the movie.
I forgot what the story was doing. This guy was incredible though.
I don't know. He seemed just so upset. I don't know if he was upset with a glass of tea. I don't know what happened.
I think the world might have ended. I really wasn't paying attention.
And then,
but those tears looked real.
Dave, it was, dude, where's my car? What are you talking about?
Oh, Christ. I don't even remember the actors from that movie. Kutcher and that dude with 3 names that I can't remember.
Yeah, that guy. Stifler,
yeah.
That's how I remember. What is it? Sean William Scott? Is that his name?
That does feel right. Right.
Yeah.
What was that movie he did with the what was the martial arts movie he did? Bulletproof Monk.
I have no idea.
Was it Bulletproof Monk though?
I have no idea. I just said I don't know. So this was a lot of fun. There was a fan who decided to bring up rumors suggesting that the DCU's Batman has already been decided. And James Gunn said, anyone who says they know anything about anything in the future DCU is bullshitting, because right now that is truly only me and Peter.
Mm-hmm.
So take that, rumor mills. Like I didn't actually put this one down to talk about, but there was one where like Gunn mentioned the scoop, like quote tweeted the scooper. It says, "Okay, either you're willfully lying, or or you've really been sold, a bill of goods here, because that's not true. You don't know what the hell you're talking about." Yeah. I love that he is so I love that he's willing to talk to fans, and that like the transparency from Gunn has been so refreshing. And it's what we've needed for years now, just sitting around like pining for information, hoping that WB will give us something. And instead they're just like not doing Superman. They're not going to tell us why. I love that Gunn is being as open as he is with us and actually talking to us on social media.
And even that was in stages where it was like, you didn't actually get an announcement. You got a rumor. Wait, has it been 9 months since we've heard anything about this? It was chatterboxing until eventually you got some, I don't know, obtuse ass quote from Sarnoff or something that just made it maybe sound like they weren't doing it or were. I can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
And then one of the actors would suddenly be on another project and you're like, well, damn it.
Yep. But I also love, though, that, like, James Gunn has always been, like, the one to, like, call out people, scoopers and shit.
Well, he very much has. Before he was even officially assigned this role, he loved to do that, which I like that he hasn't shut up.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. I love that he didn't become, like, head of DC Studios with Safran and suddenly, like, shut up. Like, if anything, he's kind of doubled down on it.
Well, like that comment there, anyone who knows anything or who says they know anything about anything, that is a categorical statement. Like he's not just saying, no, this isn't true and leaving it be. Mm-hmm. There's nothing like that. You can rely on that to some extent for a minute as far as like, no. Next time Umberto says shit, let us all remember that he doesn't know a damn thing.
Yep. So I've seen this, someone asked James, are you and your partner planning to give more DC character TV shows that'll add to the story of the DCU? And Gunn says, yes, most definitely. The DCU will be connected across film and TV and animation, which we've already heard. We know this. Mm-hmm. This does not mean that every TV series will be connected to DCU. So the sky is not yet falling for Doom Patrol, Harley Quinn, Titans, or Pennyworth. All that may still get renewed. We don't know yet. We know that the Penguin won't be DCU, at least as far as the DCU stands for right now. So
there's almost like a TBU, I guess, like that Batman universe kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe so
for the moment.
But we don't know. We don't have confirmation. Like,
I guess there's also a JU somewhere. A little Joker universe, just chilling.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, a lot of people are taking these headlines, and the headlines are saying, Gunn says no TV series will be connected. Like they'll all be connected, or they won't be existent. And
I wonder how many calls Jared Leto's gotten.
For what?
Just for comment on this bullshit with all the scooping that's possible.
Uh-huh.
Just, do you think he'll be returning under the new thing? I would almost hate to be his like rep right now as far as just fielding all that.
Uh-huh.
Because you know how that works. Like saying the words, well, I can't say anything is a loaded statement. You just almost have to hang up the phone instead.
Mm-hmm.
Called the rep and they just hung up. They must know something. Damn it, man. We're just going to unplug the phone. They unplugged their phone. They must be guarding something. Damn it, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to actually kill Jared. I'm just going to actually kill it. It's the only thing I can do to think of how to get out of this.
Anyway.
Jared Leto killed, so he couldn't return to Joker. Damn it!
James Gunn did say that he has no control over DC Comics. He says that we have very open communication. As everyone knows, I'm a huge comic book fan and hope that everything we do will lead to more people reading DC Comics and vice versa. But Peter and I are not in charge of the comics, just all filmed DC entertainment. So I don't know why anyone thought that he might have control over the comics, but
no, I mean,
they'll do some plugins. They'll tie some stuff in together and try to most likely massage the comic book content to match up a little bit with the DC Studios content.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, it seems like the comics affect movie and TV, but in long-term ways, where like they have a whole story and an arc or something like that, and somebody feels like adapting it. But TV and movies affect the comics in very specific, more short-term ways, where like suddenly a character gets drawn a little bit differently. Like it. And
it's like how like when Dark Knight came out, everybody was drawing Joker like Ledger.
Yeah.
So aggravating. I hated that shit.
It do be like that though. So
like when the X-Men movie came out, suddenly in the comics they all like wore black leather, with like yellow piping. And I was like, they all just look like bikers from the 80s. It's awful.
This is not the fucking. Oh, it's not Hell's Angels. God damn it, people. Yeah, like I don't know the that part. It's kind of silly to think it interacts that closely, but at the same time, the guys actually writing monthly comics are too fucking busy. Like those are deadlines that are hard to meet. They are way too damn busy to be trying to incorporate shit that isn't part of the actual storyline. But what they'll do is they'll do the special edition thing where like we're going to do a little 3-part series about exactly the Cavill Superman's return or some shit. Like that's how that'll go down. And they'll draw like Cavill, the whole thing.
Yeah, they'll also do the thing where it's like
the prelude,
They'll get concept art from the movie, and this is what we're thinking. Let's do, if we want to start trying to make the characters look a little more like this for a few months while the movie's coming out, and just to get more people like picking it up and and then they'll do that and it'll look a little more like that, but then the movie will come out and it'll be different than the concept art. It's whatever.
Oh, and here's the fun part. When they do those tie-ins, they're almost never substantially tied in. Like it's a very rare instance where like you had to have read the comic to know something about the movie.
Yeah,
in the lead up
like that.
And by the way, it's probably going to be sold exclusively at Walmart or some shit.
Yeah, or from Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Some shit like that, yeah.
We have 2 copies, and they're available at Kmart if you can find one.
Yeah.
And then you finally find it, and it's 17 ads and 3 pages of dialogue.
Yeah. I want you to ask yourself, do you remember the BVS Dr. Pepper ads with Batman? Do you remember the Walmart ads, or the Walmart prequel comic featuring Kara Zor-El in the Man of Steel universe, who crashed the freaking colonizing ship that became the Fortress of Solitude on prehistoric Earth? Yeah, they just never did anything with that shit, did they?
No, it's just chilling.
But David Goyer wrote it.
Yeah. Like they're not going to actually. This is the funniest part about that. GA is more important than us in certain ways, in very tangible ways. They are not going to rely on the fact that you're going to actually buy a comic in order to understand the movie.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's why people get so mad. You see them on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like, I shouldn't have to read a comic to understand a movie. You don't have to, sweetie.
One, you don't have to. Or don't. And 2,
the comic doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. But the other thing is like, people get so obstinate about that. And I'm always confused because I'm like, man, I just, it almost feels like one step over is like, I shouldn't have to learn the English language in order to watch a movie. I don't know, dude. I mean, you were asked to read a book for 15 minutes.
if they can't get across
It's a
with
comic.
the story in visuals alone, this is not a very good movie, is it?
Yeah.
That's on the onus is on the movie and the movie director.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
These are also the people that watch with subtitles. Damn them all.
I shouldn't have to pay attention to the movie. I should be able to sit on my couch and look at my phone and just know what's happening.
I really, I could probably engage myself in a good 2-hour debate about the pros and cons of subtitles on something. Cons, I find it very distracting. Pros, I have at some point watched a Christopher Nolan movie.
I mean, you have to have subtitles.
You kind of have to have subtitles.
It's the same thing if you watch like an Irish movie, like Intermission.
Yeah.
Snatch, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Bears. Any of those movies, like I've got to have subtitles on. I can't understand what the hell they're saying.
With Snatch and Lock, Stock, it was more fun not to completely know because I got the tone of it. Like I understood what was happening in the scene, but like I didn't understand all the nuance and the verbiage. Like
that's a you thing. I want to know what they're saying.
It was interesting in a way. Like if I watch a movie in Spanish or something, I can understand, I don't know, 50% of it. But it's not like I understand where the movie's going. I'm not lost on the detail. Well, definitely the details I'm lost on. But I'm not lost on the overall broad strokes. But it is interesting. Like a good movie, I only have to have 50% of the dialogue and I'm good.
Yeah.
It's a fun experiment, but I don't necessarily have time to play that all the time.
Yeah, no. Someone decided to ask Gunn, confirm with Gunn if the DCU is going to be connected to video games. And Gunn said yes.
I thought he said yes before, but I assumed.
Zaslav said yes.
Oh, okay. That's where that came from.
So, what do you think, man? Do you think it'll be more like the video games provide backstory they don't plan on getting into with movies and television? Because I have to think that's the case.
It normally is. I don't know why we'd change fundamentally the... I mean, all right, so we were just talking about someone won't buy a $10 comic and $10
I know.
Inflated for a 15-minute read so that they can be involved in the story. I'm not probably going to go buy a new console just to play the Suicide Squad game that I actually really think looks fantastic. Or the Gotham Knights game that I hear is fantastic.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do any of that.
I probably would, but I have, things I have to do in my life. Like if I was just single in my 20s again, I would absolutely have bought this console.
Yeah, sure.
But, life has limits. So
you could have been single in your 30s. Come on.
I could be single now if I really just put my thoughts into it. But I'm not sure it'd be the best decision for me. But it is a decision, I guess, anyone could make at any point. For better or worse. All that being said, if you told me that a substantial part of like the prequel, well, I guess the interim little story between like Man of Steel and Man of Steel 2 was going to be a Superman video game that was actually a decent fucking Superman video game for a second. Yeah, I'm going to buy a PlayStation 6 or whatever. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
We're going to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have serious conversations about how I can manage my time with my family so that I can make this happen.
Yeah. But it is very hard for them to actually like plot out a thing that happens in a video game that like fits in with anything like substantially. Like there was,
for a number of reasons, but
when Paramount, when they put out that Star Trek video game for the JJ verse, the game was awful.
Yeah.
The game was glitchy as shit.
A lot of Star Wars games are terrible.
Star Trek,
I know, but yeah, but like,
yeah. But so you and I played through it though.
It was one of the funnier things I've ever watched you do in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say this because like you're not a huge fan of actually playing video games.
I'm not.
But my favorite part of this was watching you really actually try and the video game itself saying, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because like you'd be like, no, I'm absolutely going to be on this mission. And then you would get stuck on the floor dead and scooting around dead for 30 minutes trying to figure out how to actually die so you could be revived or something.
Yeah, just sliding behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, fun part about that was for some reason you could still fire. So you were just like shooting people for me.
Yeah. I was like laying on the ground, able to aim and stuff. But, that I really wanted to play the game because they were like, oh, before you see Star Trek Into Darkness, be great if you played this game.
Yeah.
You got to fight the Gorn. It takes place between 1 and 2. Cool. So I play the game, watch Star Trek Into Darkness. There's one line where McCoy says he assisted in a Gorn birth.
That sounds right.
That was it.
That sounds right.
That was the connective tissue. I didn't have to play that game at all.
And we probably spent 3 hours on one level alone where there's an approaching ship, and I could not figure out for my life how to actually fire anything at it.
Yeah. Now, if they change the game, if they start figuring out a way to crank out quality video games that fit into the storyline of the DC universe, that fit in with the movies and the TV shows that they're doing, and it's getting good reviews, I mean, I might watch the story mode on YouTube.
I've been there. I mean, I didn't play Injustice 2, but I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Naturally. Yeah. That's all I'm willing to say. I'm not willing to say I'll buy a console because I'll never do that. I'll never play the game, even if I did.
Yeah, one year thing.
I might sit down for 20 minutes.
1 year thing.
But I'll get bored.
You mostly enjoyed heckling the game while I played it when we were playing together.
Yeah, or complaining that they can't make movies as good as the games.
Yeah, that was a real thing. Well, we were playing the Arkham games in all fairness.
We were playing the Arkham games. Yeah. I'm like, how hard is this? Look at this. This looks perfect.
Yeah. But it's like, it's also written by Paul Dini, so come on.
Yeah. I also spent
you got a ringer.
Bizarre amount of time writing down funny shit you were saying while heckling the game.
Those were fun times.
So James Gunn tweeted out a picture of Kingdom Come.
Mm-hmm.
It was an Alex Ross piece. It was Superman surrounded by a bunch of superheroes around a Green Lantern construct table, planning shit out. And Gunn said, making plans. And everyone kind of freaked out because they were like, oh my God, is he leading up to Kingdom Come? Is that what he's planning? And you know what? It was made me think like, everyone, and myself included, has said, what does DC have to lead up to beyond Crisis? Because, I mean, dude, they could actually like lead up to shit like Kingdom Come, and that would be a big deal. You know what I mean?
I mean, easily, but it's probably not the right takeaway from that image. And
it's probably not, no.
I don't think it's the time. Like Kingdom Come is something that you do, a decade from now, after exhausting some of the other material that requires younger actors.
I mean, yeah, unless of course you decide to like jump forward in time, show like an alternate future, and then come back and try to reboot it. There's a lot of shit they could do.
Yeah,
but I mean, Kingdom Come was a story about an old Superman who comes out of retirement to take down a young generation of assholes with superpowers. So,
bunch of dicks got powers.
Bunch of dicks got powers.
Now I got to do something about it.
They had power throbbing through their veins.
Especially what's his name? Kagon or something. I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't. Magog?
I think that is it. Magog. Yeah. Yeah, we're in the. You got us in the area there. You might have actually gone around. I'm not sure.
I actually just like the 1950s era superhero themed diners. That's all I really liked in that story. I'm kidding. I liked a lot of stuff in that story, but that's the one thing to like. That is the one thing I remember. Well, every time I think of Kingdom Come, I think of those superhero themed diners because I just thought like, man, I'd like to go there.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, no, but there is one in North Alabama. I think there's one in Huntsville we could go to if you want to.
Oh yeah, I know. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't remember either. I just have seen the vague picture of the front thing on Google Maps or something.
Yeah, there are a couple of places like that my wife has gone to, and
it's reachable.
She likes to go out of town with her mom, and then they send me pictures, and we're like, "You gotta come here one day." And I'm like, I don't want to drive over there.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
But, I mean, alternative, either of us could just cook and eat in either of our offices. So
that's true. or my house.
Yeah. Or your entire house. Yeah.
So they at the CCXP, we got to see they are putting out new promo images for The Flash, and with merch. Warner Brothers has new merch for The Flash, and one is very interesting. It shows two Flashes, and one of the suits is just very clearly a 1992 Batman suit from Batman Returns, with the ears lopped off. I sent you a picture of this thing. Yeah. Like when you look at the one in the one in the foreground, it's just very clearly the Batman Returns suit remade to be the Flash suit.
Yeah.
You see the ears lopped off?
I do.
I think that's funny.
And he's looking at the camera.
Yeah. I think that is hilarious. If that is what they follow through with.
Well, it's the ears lopped off, or in a recent version, it's the knives already used.
Yeah. So, yeah.
The emergency knives he didn't pull out for 75 years or 85 years or something.
Yeah. Well, it was because of the comics code. In the golden age, they were dildos.
Before the CCA.
So, according to the Flash's film editor, Paul Marquis, the technology being used to bring the movie to life could be part of the reason the film has been recently delayed. He says, it's going to be exciting. I mean, Warner's has charged us with making the best film we possibly can. What I can say is that we are going to be utilizing... We're the first film to be utilizing some very, very new technology in terms of getting multiple versions of the same actor on the screen rather than using either locked off cameras or even the motion controls we used in Last Night in Soho. There's been a new development with some wonderful technology, which I'd love to be able to talk about now, but this time next year, once the film's out, we can go into total scrupulous detail. But that is very, very exciting, and I'm very pleased to say that we're the first, certainly on a film of this scale, to utilize it. Probably why it's taken so long to finish, actually, but it's worth the wait because it looks fantastic.
That sounds exciting. I'm very curious, but it's going to be funny if later they're like, it was deep fake. Actually,
yeah, I think it is. And here's the thing. I think it's a very specific type of deep fake, or actually it's what deep fake uses. I've been hearing a lot about NRFs, neural radiance fields. And it's kind of a new thing they're using with AI, and it's basically like a fully connected neural network that can generate novel views of complex 3D scenes based on a partial set of 2D images, and it is trained to use a rendering loss to reproduce input views of a scene. I grabbed that off of Google, but I have seen a few videos now recently of people learning to use this stuff, and they're showing like, they're running around with a camera just taking shots of like an alleyway, and they put it into the program, and even though their camera was all over the place, it still captured everything, and you could basically, using neural radiance fields inside of the program, you can create these 3D spaces and go anywhere inside of it. You can create the scene and how you like the blocking in post. You could just change the angles completely. And one of the crazy things about it is it knows where the light sources are. So as you move the camera, it changes the lighting across all surfaces. It's really interesting, and
that is a bit sexy.
Yeah, it once you actually either know code or know how to do it properly, and there are a couple of programs now that have it all set up for you that you can purchase, but way better results than green screen. You don't actually have to create geometry inside of any kind of 3D mesh or nothing like that. I mean, there's some bugs to be worked out and it's early days and shit, but it looks really freaking good. And if you had a few $1 million behind it, holy shit. Anyway, I've just been watching a lot about that recently. And as soon as I read him saying that, I was like, oh man, are they doing nerfs?
Yeah, I gotta look into that. That sounds pretty cute.
I can send you a couple things.
Mm-hmm. Please do.
We got the Flash movie logo released. I think it looks fine. I think it looks, I don't honestly notice much of a difference from the previous one.
No, you know how
honestly.
Sometimes you look at something and you're like, well, this looks good, but I don't know what's being communicated to me right now. It looks good. I just that could have been a teaser from 2018. I would not have. And honestly,
yeah.
You know what the stupid part is? I was trying to be exaggerating right now, but that actually is true. This could have been a teaser from 2018.
It could have been. I wouldn't know.
It could have been a teaser from 2016. I think, as long as this movie's been in development.
Yeah. I feel like the backup dude from the Realistic Love Song. You remember that? Where it's like, please feel free to fake an orgasm, and the guy in the background goes, I won't know. Yeah, I wouldn't have known. You're like, hey, this is the old one. I'm like, cool. I don't know.
I think there's an old joke or meme probably at this point. It's like 30% of men know that someone has faked an orgasm. The other 70% just don't know.
Yeah. The thing is, if they had done like a marked difference to this logo, I would have noticed it, but it hasn't changed so much that I care.
Nah.
I do I do get into the costume designs a little too much, but
yeah, I usually just ask for what you're thinking about those, because I don't even notice a lot of them.
Yeah, I know you don't. That's why I sent you the picture of the costume. Is I'm like, okay, look,
I'll be like, he's still in red. Cool.
Yeah, they spray painted a Batman, outfit. Moving over to Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me rephrase. Some are dumbed down enough that I can notice it.
Uh-huh. It's okay, buddy. You understand lots of things I don't.
I have approximate knowledge.
Many things, yes. Thank you, Demon Cat. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. There is like a bit of a kerfuffle.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people from that trailer have been complaining about a line in the trailer they released where he's like, I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life. And they're like, hey, it's cringe. It's cringe. It's cringe. And David Sandberg said, actually, that line is not in the final movie. It's just in the trailer. And then people are like trying to spin, like there are a bunch of people spinning the narrative that people complained. So David Sandberg,
so he's backing off now.
Backed off and took it out of the cut. And then, Sandberg was like, actually, no, it's been out of the movie since way before the trailer came out. The trailer house has, access to all of the footage, and they make their own thing, just trying to give you an idea of the movie. So then people are like, that's false advertising. I don't know. I don't care. I don't. I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but this shit has been going on for decades.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I've been, I remember seeing trailers, and then I see the movie. I'm like, that's a different shot than they used in the trailer. That's a different joke than they used in the trailer. The trailer had this different. Come on. You haven't noticed that? No one's noticed this before? Am I the only one?
Did no one see Fantastic Four?
This. I was a child. I was 8 years old when I started noticing that Dumb and Dumber's trailer was different than the movie.
You were not wrong, though.
I'm like, when Harry falls out of the tarmac and lands on the ground, his body is in a different position in the movie than it is in the trailer.
That is not the shape I was expecting.
Yeah. So they released this first poster with the first logo for Blue Beetle. That confirms it's coming out in 2023.
Yeah.
Very, very 80s looking color scheme. Very 80s looking 2023 on this poster.
I'm trying to find it again right now just because I'm curious. I thought it looked great, but now that you say 80s.
Did I not send?
No,
I guess I didn't.
I'd already seen that one.
So we had.
See, that's my point. I just no. I see what you mean. The 2023 does look very like Vice
It
City.
does. My city.
Vice City.
Vice City.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying we built this city on rock and roll.
No.
I don't know.
God, no. Kill me when I reference that.
Why? What's wrong with referencing that?
Because it'll mean the other brain cells are dead, and I'm basically not myself anymore.
Oh, Jason. Buddy, it's okay to like things. I swear to God, man.
I understand it's okay to like things, and I appreciate everyone else liking it, but hair metal's never going to be my thing.
Was that hair metal?
I think of it in that genre, I suppose.
I don't think it was. That's a different thing, I think. I mean, what was that? Jefferson Starship? Previously Jefferson Airplane?
That feels right.
I mean, it's like pop music, man.
I don't know, that might have been late 70s, but still, not my thing.
Well, yeah, Starship was 74 to 84.
There you go. The actual poster. Yeah, I see what you're saying with the 2023. The pink, I don't know. I don't necessarily associate that with 80s, but overall, it's my kind of blue. I didn't think about it as any kind of decade or something like that.
Yeah. Over on Facebook, on our Facebook page, I shared this. And I said, "What do you think?" And this guy named Gabor Vires said, "It's an Autobot symbol," and I can't not see it now.
Oh, the face at the bottom?
No, just like the whole blue beetle, the beetle itself on the poster.
Oh shit! No, I don't.
It just looks like an Autobot. It looks like a Transformers symbol.
Well, now I got to look at that. Okay, it kind of does.
And John Howell on Facebook says Insecticon.
Oh, but that's actually accurate though for what the scarab does.
Yeah, sure it is. I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh my God. Oh, now I can't get it out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Constantine 2. The director says one of the biggest things for me about the first one was we followed, per Warner Brothers, the rules to make a PG-13 movie in terms of violence, blood, language, sexuality. But the ratings board gave us a hard R based on their gray zone of intensity. And my big regret was that we have an R-rated movie that's really a PG-13 movie. And if I was going to have an R movie, I would have really made an R movie. I would have made it much scarier and much more violent, and I would have really made an R-rated movie. The idea is this time, at least for me, is to really go at it and make a real R-rated Constantine, which is, I think, what people always wanted originally, not the PG-13 version that just happens to get an R.
I don't think he's wrong at all. That was not an R movie.
No, I didn't even remember that it was an R-rated movie.
I mean, what's his name? The cabbie dying. That should have been grotesque.
Mm-hmm.
It was not. Like he went out with minimal blood and like no. I mean, his skull should have been shattered, but no. He even got an exit line.
An exit line.
Like no, that no. I mean, were they worried because it was like there was a suicide attempt in there or something? Or
dude, maybe. I don't know. I mean, the ratings board, you never know. They've always got little bullshit reasons.
Yeah. Genuinely, my biggest problem with the movie, and it has a solution, is that there's no way he could actually smoke in the rain like that. But that's apparently a spell he uses.
Uh-huh.
Which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So, Dwayne Johnson came in to defend Black Adam being released on VOD.
Mm-hmm.
While it's still in the theaters, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He says, a quick check-in. I'm swooping in to thank you. Great news to report on the Black Adam front. The Black Adam train continues to roll along. You guys have made Black Adam #1 again, now on digital. Black Adam is the #1 movie on iTunes. We released Black Adam yesterday. We thought it was a strategic release to go on all digital platforms, as we're still out in the theaters, as we go into the Thanksgiving holidays, and of course the Christmas holidays, Hanukkah holidays. So you guys could enjoy Black Adam in theaters and certainly enjoy The Man in Black at home. So thank you for making Black Adam #1 again on iTunes with a bullet, by the way. And in my mind, a lot of people kind of giving this a lot of shit, saying it doesn't make sense, but I say it might as well. I think it's a smart move. You're not getting a ton more sales at this point with Wakanda Forever out. You might as well get big sales with digital for the people who don't feel like going to theaters to see Wakanda Forever.
A little bit of it baffles me. Like, the people that want to see it up front is one thing, but I don't go see movies several times. I've seen it in the theater, and then I kind of want to be able to like consume it at home privately and spend some time with it. So to that extent, I saw it in the theater, and then immediately, like, I've already watched it at home now. I bought it.
Yeah.
They got all my money. They got all the money that I would spend on this movie. Like,
theatrically.
It's there.
Or both, I guess.
Yeah. Like, they've got it all. And a t-shirt, because I bought a t-shirt a long time ago.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm just saying, they're not going to, most people are not going to keep going to the theaters with Wakanda Forever out to see Black Adam.
Yeah.
They've only made $384 million worldwide. And that was on a budget of $200 million. Mm-hmm. Just release it on VOD, man. Like, they, it was never going to make Wakanda money. And I've said it on Twitter before, people comparing the two. Black Adam made this, and Wakanda Forever made that, and the whole box office in the first weekend. Fine. Black Adam is not Marvel. It doesn't have the Marvel name attached to it. It's not attached to the death of a beloved celebrity. There are all these reasons that it's not going to make the same amount of money by any stretch. But you know what it did do is, for the weeks that it was out before Wakanda Forever, it was #1 in the box office.
Yeah.
It didn't make all the money that they hoped it would. It didn't make all the money that, Marvel generally makes. But it made more money than any movie Rock has been in. And believe me, they use the star as a factor, a calculation point for what they think a movie will make.
Yeah, you say calculation point and you mean it. Like, there's literally an algorithm for this kind of crap.
Yeah, there is. So
we should meet the guy someday.
I don't need to. I mean, this is like when everyone said Ant-Man flopped because it didn't make $1 billion, because Avengers did, and Iron Man 3 did right after, and then Ant-Man is not Iron Man. Ant-Man is not the Avengers. Ant-Man was not a flop. They made that movie for like $50 million.
Yes.
It was a flop.
Yeah.
Then why are they about to make #3? Screw you. You don't understand anything.
I mean, hell, in that movie, they paid like 3 people with real names, and the rest of it was just a couple of cameos and some CGI, and yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no. And I enjoyed that movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
That is all I have for movie news. I'd like to run to break real quick. Break is code for bathroom. Mm-hmm. But when we return, television updates and a little bit of listener feedback. All right, we are back. We had some PP and some sweet tea over here.
I had a Senpel. Clementine and peach. It's delightful.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. All right. So CCXP Brazil. All right. They had a video of Neil Gaiman. And he says, "Hola, Brazil. I wish I was there. I love Brazil so much. We have things coming for you in season 2 of Sandman. We have more members of the Endless coming, including the youngest member of the Endless. Don't tell anybody, but it's Delirium." Mm-hmm. I'm excited about that.
Oh, it's actually Kristen Shaw, after hearing her on the audiobook thing.
Yeah. I still need to get to that. Well, so many things to get to. Jesus God.
Do you remember who she is?
Kristen Shaw?
Yeah, Shaw.
No. I'm going to look it up. Who's Kristen Shaw?
Shaal, I think.
Oh, Shaw.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. I want someone who looks more like Tori Amos.
Just dye her hair red.
Maybe. Then again, I'm not really hung up on any of that. So
no, I just I was so delighted to hear her voice as Delirium at some point that I was I wouldn't mind hearing it again.
Yeah, that works. Doom Patrol season 4.
Mm-hmm.
They put out a trailer. Looks like we got some time traveling. We got this whatever,
some youth traveling.
Yeah, they de-aged.
Yeah,
looks like their immortal powers have been taken away, and maybe they weren't even aware that they had it.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of subtitles earlier, I damn near had to turn them on to figure out what the hell what's his name was saying. Yeah. I keep thinking of Sterling or Badger.
Yeah, the two shows. I know you're talking about.
Because the two shows where I know him from.
Willoughby Kipling.
That's the bitch. Yeah, I love that guy.
Mm-hmm. I do. Mark Shepard is his real name. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this Project Immortus, I don't know, this all seems very Doom Patrol-y.
It does.
Very fun. Really weird.
This is one of those trailers where, like, I have absolutely nothing to criticize whatsoever. There's not a single moment in it where I'm like, well, I don't know. But I also don't, like, I don't have anything to sink my teeth into. I don't know where we're going yet. Yeah, I just sort of...
Someplace weird.
Yeah, it's just, it looks fun. I love the idea of, what's her name, literally smashing asses. I mean,
mm-hmm. I did laugh with the asses dancing.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard not to enjoy. It's the kind of show where, like, where else are you going to get content like that?
They just laugh. I love that they've brought back the asses since season 1.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you remember, they ended the last season by chasing a pair of evil nuts. So, presumably evil. I don't know. I guess we didn't see the culmination of that there, the climax, if you will. But what we don't know is if it actually mattered.
Well,
no, I mean, there are a ton of things to like about that. Like, I always love getting to see Brendan Fraser actually act again. Like, not that his voice acting isn't stellar, because it fucking is. But I like seeing him back in Cliff, like the proper robot. I don't know what's going on with that right hand. We'll see. But
yeah, he should put it underneath a bucket and stick a book on top of it.
He's good.
The book, Farewell to Arms. Right out of Evil Dead 2. Lop off the hand, stick it under a bucket. Farewell to Arms.
That's solid.
Gotta love Evil Dead.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good franchise. I liked everything I saw, and yet I don't know what the hell I'm getting into. But for this franchise, fucking perfect.
That sounds absolutely right.
Let's do this.
I watched an asshole up against some glass. That's Doom Patrol, man. Spreading them against glass. Stephen Amell says he would like to return to the Arrowverse for the Flash's final season. He says, people ask me if I'm going to come back for the Flash final season. I guess you're just going to have to watch. I haven't been asked, but that'd be fun. I think that would be appropriate.
It'd be fitting, yeah.
If they brought him back as Spectre or as a ghost or some shit, whatever they do.
Well, typically what they'll do is bring him back as some kind of vision or dream or something. I mean, they're not going to...
Or a flashback.
Yeah, it's not going to be substantial in any way.
Yeah. Or maybe an alternate future version of Ollie comes into the past. Maybe that version from Legends of Tomorrow who only had one arm.
Yeah, true.
They could do that. It's a comic book show, man. They can do anything.
At the same time, they're also like kind of shutting down that universe. So fuck it. Bring him back and do whatever.
But look, the Justice dude, David Ramsey, the guy that played Diggle, just said they've got some good stuff coming up. So apparently they're still doing it.
Okay. I can do that too. I mean,
I'm very confused.
I mean, you should be. Like, most of the shows associated are dead, gone, or getting dead and gone. Like,
did we talk about Javicia Leslie playing Batwoman as a regular on the final season of Flash? Yeah, she's back. Ryan is back as Batwoman on the Flash. Like, hi guys, can we get the Legends? Can we?
Oh, this is
wrap
entirely
that,
where I
please?
expect
Please?
that they will wrap that up
Please.
in the Flash. What better medium?
I need Booster Gold, Donald Faison. I need the Legends wrapped. I mean, all they have to do is get out of that prison. They already had their the series finale. The penultimate episode felt like a final episode. Anyway.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to wind that down that would be very appropriate, but.
And hopefully they're doing it because you know what? The Flash is not on the fall schedule. The Flash is not on the mid-season schedule. Fine. Put it off. Do as much as you can with that final season.
Yeah.
Edge us until we have to blow.
That is not the imagery anyone wanted.
I'd bet anybody, or I'd bet anything that there's somebody, at least one person out there who wanted that imagery.
I would bet against that dollar, but sure, I got you. Point is, you got to the characterization you wanted.
If you wanted that imagery,
please
leave us a message.
Yeah.
Leave us a message, dcunscreen@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Just put it in the subject. You don't have to give me a note. Just write in the subject line, I am edged and ready to blow.
I don't want to make it that easy, but
that's what she said.
Yeah, but I'm happy to hand over $1
or he.
to Dave
I don't want to be
for a lost bet if someone actually does put that in.
Yeah, I don't want to be inclusive or he, and that's what he said as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Legends of Tomorrow fans can finally buy Bebo Saves Christmas. That is available.
Why?
Why not? It's a part of the universe.
Why is that the one?
So weird.
Wait, I mean, like just the episode, or?
Well, yeah, it was like it was a special. It was a Christmas special. Remember, an animated Christmas special from last year.
I remember that, but I don't know. I just assumed it was available on the platform. I didn't realize that was special.
I mean, I guess so.
Fair enough.
Speaking of DC animated projects, Channing Dungey, head of Warner Brothers Television, was a speaker at the UK TV conference in London. And this report comes to us via Variety, where it was revealed that Warner Brothers TV and Amazon are closing a deal for new DC animated content. He said, one of the interesting things that's exciting for me at this moment, the approach of the previous management was more like everything has to stay in-house. We don't want anything to go outside. David Zaslav has been much more open to our exploring all of our animated IP and being able to do it on different platforms. Certainly HBO Max is going to be our first stop, but we're already in the process of closing a big deal with Amazon that's going to feature some of our DC branded content and animation. And I do think it's a solid strategy to, license your shit out.
Yeah.
And if they wind up canceling it, turn around, put it on HBO Max, wrap it up. Legions of...
It'll get there eventually. Like, part of the streaming wars isn't so much that it's a war. It's something is watched for a minute, the views die down, you transfer it somewhere, the views go up again. Like, that's... There's a resale value here.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to take it off, let people be like, where is it? Where can I find it? And then put it back up, and people will subscribe. It's sort of like bring limited time offers.
Yeah, it's
like
nacho fries.
The McRib.
It's nacho. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll take that too.
I like nacho fries too. Oh my God. Have you had that whatever it is, 7-layer nacho fries thing that's got the guacamole on it?
I did.
Oh my God. It's so good.
I was not that impressed.
Really?
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad.
I knew if I said I loved it, you would be like, it wasn't great. But of course that could all be based on what time of day you went, like who made it.
100%.
It's
just wasn't going to be like, I didn't rush back for it, but it wasn't bad at all. I ate every bite of it.
I licked the thing.
I licked the wrapper like it was the top of a yogurt foil.
I licked the small black tray that it was heaped upon.
I asked my dog for lessons in licking it.
I chipped a tooth trying to lick the lid.
That's unfortunate.
I didn't, actually. But it would have been funny, in a way. Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah.
We have a movie trailer.
Yeah.
I've seen this thing. I've watched it. What did you think?
I think the story's going to be fun. I really like, not the animation style in particular, but the...
Yeah, I'm still not feeling the animation style.
It's not the animation style that I'm worried about, because that feels like the same as the rest of them. This feels like it changed the actual, how to phrase it, like how they're drawn.
Yeah, it looks like the last few.
This one looks better to me. Like it
ever since what it was, Man of Tomorrow or whatever it was called.
Maybe
that debuted at 2021 Fandom.
See, that even looked different. Like this looked like a comic book as far as someone was like whoever drew it and whatever happened after the fact where they like probably sent it off for some animation just to do it cheaply. Mm-hmm. That's different. Like I liked the drawings here more than I previously have. Okay. Like Superman kind of looked like All-Star Superman or something. It was hard to put my finger on, but I like the style more.
Okay.
Story looks good too.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, the story does look good. I'm always interested in the Legion of Superheroes. I'm not like a huge fan of the Legion of Superheroes, but I'm mildly interested. Like I'm always like, huh.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can make it interesting this time.
Yeah. I feel you there. I've never like felt the need to just subscribe to specifically that content either, but
yeah.
But yeah, like watching like Brainiac be, I don't know, the humble, trying to stay out of the spotlight, butt of the joke as far as like Supergirl goes is one thing, and then Blimp actually getting some hits in, also good.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name though? It's not. I know it's not Arm Fall Off Boy or something. Is it though?
Oh yeah, I think so. Arms Fall Off Lad or something like that.
Okay.
They probably won't call him that. Oh, it is all Arms Fall Off Boy.
Okay. Well,
they probably, like I said, that they probably
know
won't
that.
Actually.
Like it couldn't possibly be that. No, apparently it is. Even watching him get some hits in, where like he sends his hands across the room and skulls a couple guys. That actually looked pretty cool. This may be a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I expect it to be.
Yeah, they might actually change his name, call him TDK or something like they did in the Suicide Squad, just because they don't want to give royalties to the guy who created him.
It's an old trick. It's one of those oldie but a goodies as far as evading costs.
I don't think it's about that. I think the point is, it might be a nice outcome, but Gerard Jones is currently serving a 6-year sentence for possession of child pornography.
Okay. That's a very different kind of evasion.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I think they're trying to distance themselves from that, honestly.
I think you evade both at that point. Don't.
Yeah. That's a happy accident that, you don't actually have to pay them.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of feedback from our buddy Andre Sparks.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to talk about that?
Sure.
This email is called Fall Finales. No spoilers. Andre says, "Hey guys, just wanted to let you know that the finale of Pennyworth Season 3 was great. I can't wait to see where it goes. Fall finale of Titans was good too. I think the writing for this season has been strong. Great character development and action were needed. I know you guys were annoyed with some of the writing, though, based on your past comments on how the characters don't know things that we do. Yeah, the dramatic irony. Lastly, the Stargirl penultimate episode was top notch. I listened to the last cast and heard you all day. Because of John's, you were glad it was ending. But man, this show is so well written. The villain, the leading actress, and the supporting characters are all really acting their asses off.
I can get behind
If
that.
you haven't been watching, you really need to. I would love to hear your thoughts on these shows. Keep up the great work, and I hope you both stop getting sick. Green tea is the cure."
I can't have caffeine,
Dude,
man.
I am on like week 2.5 of getting over COVID.
I also hope we stop being sick. Thank you.
Yeah. Green tea does not cure COVID.
Also, having a toddler in a preschool is just the worst for your health.
Yeah. P.S. Can't wait for the last season of The Flash. I'll miss Grant. Besides Tom Welling as Clark, I feel like this is the guy I have really grown up with these last 9 years.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, really done now. Well, Andre, one, I have not seen 1 second of Pennyworth that wasn't on a trailer.
I haven't either. And I don't mean to say I don't want to. I do, but I haven't.
Yeah, I would like to. I just have not yet.
Yeah.
For a while, it was on Epix, and I just couldn't get to it.
Yep.
And now it's all on HBO Max, and I would like to, but I'm still busy.
Yeah. Still trying to budget the time for it.
And let's see, Titans. I have seen the first episode of this season, but I haven't watched any more, but I liked the first episode. Stargirl, I have just finished episode 4 of this season. So I'm getting there. And it has been good. I have enjoyed it. I like all the people on there. It hasn't been to me as good as the first season.
Yeah, that was stellar. This is the last season, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I've come to villainize Johns, but I have a lot of I don't know. I think of him very differently in the context of this show, like
because it's based on his sister.
Yeah, this has such a personal attachment that like I'm not. I take it out of context of everything else, and to some extent, because something that hits that deep it's just very different.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't been like accused of Whedon type of behavior or anything. Like he hasn't, I'm not watching Stargirl and thinking he's like molesting her behind the scenes or something.
No, I don't think
like it's nothing like that. It's just that he made some really questionable comments and he was an asshole.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of that, and even short of that, like I said, it's this is a very different context. So I am looking forward to that show, but God, I got to catch up on that too.
Yeah,
and
it's been
current.
It's been fine. There's been stuff that I was like yuck, but
yeah,
like womp womp. Okay.
There have been moments,
but it's been good. It's been pretty good. And I agree, they do act their asses off.
Yeah, no, it never a question about the actual people involved.
Yeah. So yeah, we're getting to it, man. It's just hard. We've got so much.
To reference it again, one day we will follow you in the sun.
But first, we're gonna stumble and fall for a bit.
Of course.
Yeah. I wish DC would do like Star Trek, where they just like put out one episode of a thing every week forever. Whereas just like, and like every once in a while, just like when the show is like, okay, we got like a season finale of Picard and it's happening at the same time as a season opener as Lower Deck, same day or whatever. And then that, over on Star Trek Universe, my other podcast, those weeks are difficult because it's like, oh God, okay, so we got an episode of Lower Decks, then we got an episode of Prodigy, and it's happening on the same night. Good God. But for DC, it's just like, all right, well, 37 shows came out this week. Guess we'll get to that sometime in the next 2 years.
Right. See you soon. Thanks.
I love loving all of it. I love, the idea of watching all of this as it comes out. But I can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm a half a season behind on The Flash as it is. Because it just started sucking. I couldn't do it anymore. And it's been getting worse since season 6. And I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, they're waxing.
I will. I'll go back and I'll catch up. And damn it, appropriately for The Flash, I'll watch it on fast. But I will catch up.
I have no doubt that I'll actually see everything at some point. It's just a matter of time and time management.
Video speed controller on my computer is my version, is my constructed Speed Force that I use to catch up with Barry Allen. It's my negative force.
I'm the opposite turtle. I get it. I kind of refuse to use that method. I just got to find a better way for me. I say that 3 years later.
Well, right now, one of the better ways is if you're not caught up on season 8 of The Flash, you can now go over to Netflix and watch it without ads.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
That does help.
Yeah.
I hate the CW app. I hate it with a passion. Yeah. I'm tired of seeing the non-vape, don't vape commercials. Yeah. I'm tired of that same damn son of a bitch.
I think I've said this before, but the only thing that the non-vape commercials...
Spice commercial?
Oh, that too. The only thing the non-vape commercials have ever inspired me to do is actually smoke.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, right?
I hate them very deeply. And for the record, both are fucking terrible. Don't do either. I get it. But, oh my God, those commercials suck so much fucking ass. I can't... No. It's not even worth articulating.
So, we have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Cool. Yeah, that's everything. Then, thank you so much for listening. If you would like to be like Andre Sparks, and why the hell wouldn't you want to be like Andre? Andre's too cool for school. I don't know. That was
I don't know what you're going for there.
I don't know either.
Andre, thank you for writing in, man.
Yeah, I like Andre. I guess I think too cool for school is a good thing.
I guess.
Andre.
You went at that at a weird angle. Andre, for the record, thank you for writing in, and I appreciate you.
Yeah.
That's what Dave actually meant. He just did that so weird.
Yeah. This is why I didn't have friends, you know? You can drop us a line at dconscreen@gmail.com. We can also be reached on Instagram and Twitter at dconscreen and through our Facebook page. If you are a patron, you can message us there as well. Patreon.com/DConscreen. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen. Our intro music is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Galactic Engineers of Magnetic Sounds, or GEMS, can be found on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Visit DCOnScreen.com to find our Patreon, merch, contact information, and every episode of the show for free, including crossovers we've done with other podcasts. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. For more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, vlogs, parodies, and our improvised web series Hey Guy, visit maladjusted.tv.